Hey guys, thank you for coming back and watching this video. I do appreciate everybody coming in and taking a look at it. This week starts out my 5 weeks out to my meet. So this is actually starting my actual meet prep. This video you're actually going to see a 3x5 of squats, a 4x5 of bench press, and a 3x5 of deadlifts. I do apologize for last week. I did not get my deload weekend. I did not feel like it was something that anybody needed to see. It was kind of a boring week. Everything was light. Nothing was super intense. Just getting some work in, but still kind of recouping from the heavy lifting I was doing before. These sets of squats that I'm doing right here are going to be at 285 for sets of 5. I do apologize about the camera. I should have scooted back a little bit more, so next time I will know what to do a little bit better. As you see, as I'm going through these lifts, I'm really concentrating on getting the lifts out as quickly as I possibly can and making sure I'm hitting depth. Again, depth in the powerlifting world is hip creases below the knees. So you're going to see on some of these I do hit that depth, and some of these I do not. Something else I'm working on is speed going down into the hole. I feel like I am being way too slow and deliberate at the top, and I'm trying to get down a little bit quicker. That squat looked good. Second squat looks good as well. It's going to look a little different during the powerlifting meet because, again, I'm going to have a singlet on, so they're going to actually see the hip crease pretty well at that point. These all look really, really good. I'm really surprised. Whenever I was doing this, it felt like crap, but I think it was because I was coming off that deload week where nothing was super heavy, nothing was super super hard. This is kind of a hard week. Again, this is the 3 sets of 5 at 80%. So, I mean, it's not an easy week, but it's not a hard week at all. Next week I go down to 3s, then 2s, then 1s, and then last week before the meet I'll just do work up to my competition lifts on Monday and Tuesday, and then I am done until the actual meet. I'll have a meet video up for y'all as well. These actually look super good. I am hitting the hole quickly. I am going down into the bottom position, and I am getting way below competition depth, and those looked fantastic. Those moved better than the first 2 sets. I was pretty proud of that. These are just going to be some some glute bridges. I'm only showing 1 set of each of my lifts this week. This was my set for 3 accessory exercises. This is one of them for the day. I did leg extensions and hamstring curls. This is 205 pounds for glute bridges for I think 7 or 8 reps. Nothing big. Sorry about the pad there. That was the only thing I could find to protect the, let's just say, the goods. So it was kind of a hard day trying to find the padding for it. Again, this is just for my quad extensions. I'm just getting some work in here. Nothing super heavy, not real light, but I am getting as much work in as I possibly can. You see me do about 8 reps there. This is my last set for the day that I was doing. I took about 15 seconds, and now I'm going to start doing some I guess partial reps. This is just mostly for the flex reflex, and I'm actually touching my legs to make sure that I'm activating where I need to activate. If I'm not activating where I need to activate, then I just stop because there's no point, and I just wasn't activating right, so I stopped. This is my last set of hamstring curls. This was actually a pretty good set. I feel like my hamstrings have come a long way since I started working and concentrating on my hamstrings. Before, I was probably pretty quad dominant. Now I feel like I am really hamstring dominant at this point, and I probably need to focus on quads a little bit more. So in the future, that's probably what I will focus on, probably doing a little bit of trying to get some even distribution out. Here's my new bench press setup that I am trying out. I'm making sure that I am as arched as I can possibly be. All the way up until my 5th set here. This is my last warm-up set at 175. Up until my last set, you're actually going to see a small bridge, but you're not going to see a super large arch. My last set, you actually see the arch underneath my shirt, and I'm pretty happy with this. I feel like I'm getting a lot of lat activation when doing this. What I am doing here is I am shoving my shoulder blades and bringing my shoulder blades as far down as they possibly can on my body. And here you can actually see, if you look towards my hips, you can actually see some space in between the bench and me. That is to get my chest higher. I am not flat benching. I am not a bodybuilder. I am a powerlifter. I do not care about what my muscles really technically look like, even though that is, kind of a good thing to have, nice aesthetic muscles. But again, I am looking to move the weight as quickly and as efficiently as I possibly can. Right here, that was my first set at 190 for a 4x5. This is my second set for a 4x5. I probably overshot a little bit here with my RPE of an 8, which means I would have 2 reps left in the tank by the end of it. But again, it's just kind of one of those feeling things out for the day. But I felt like it was moving well enough that I didn't just want to do a 3x5. I feel like any extra work I can get on bench press right now is good extra work. When you're seeing me do these, I am trying to concentrate on trying to bring my chest to the bar as much as possible. One thing that I am changing on, starting this week, I am wearing my belt for bench press more. That is just to get some more air into where it needs to go into. And it kind of inflates my chest a little bit more, just keeps air out of my stomach and into my chest a little bit more. So that helps out a little bit. Here again, you see the arch that I'm trying to get into. I'm tucking my shoulder blades in, making sure my elbows are as tight as they possibly can be for my grip angle. I believe this is the one where you actually see the arch pretty well. So when my butt goes down, yeah, there you go. So you actually see the light in between me and behind. So I'm actually pretty impressed with my bench press of how far it's come in the last few weeks, just by changing up this a little bit. I also have been working on pin press a lot. That's something that I haven't been normally doing. I've been doing it the last 3 weeks, and it's helped out immensely. One thing I have trouble with is if I can't get it off my chest, I'm not going to get the lift. This is the one where you really see the pronounced arch, and I think these look probably the best as far as angles that's coming off my body, and as far as my setup goes. I feel like I am tighter here than I had been in any other set, so this is something I want to replicate. My rib cage is high, my chest is high, I am touching at the correct spot of the bench. You can see the distance in between me and the actual place behind me, so I'm actually doing a really good job of getting set up. My shoulder blades don't retract and come out until I am done with the lift, and it's all over from there. This is a set, again, this is deadlift, and guys, it's going to be a shorter video. They're only going to get shorter from here on out until the meet, just because of the way that the workouts are set up. I'm trying to deload at the same time as getting competition ready as much as I possibly can. This is a set of 305, I believe. Yes, 305 for 3 sets of 5. First set does pretty well. If you see me stop, it's because I feel like I get out of position during the deadlifts, and I want to make sure that I'm in position correctly. One thing I did note on this day, I forgot my flats at home, and I was kicking myself by the end of it, because by the end of it, I keep feeling like my toes are coming off the ground, and I did not feel like I had a good stable base at the bottom. And you can actually see some of these where my toes look like they come off the ground for a split second. That is a horrible feeling to have when you have 300 pounds in your hands. It feels like you're going to fall backwards. It's not a great feeling. I do not recommend lifting in heels, especially for deadlift. It is just something that you need your feet firmly flat on the ground. You need some kind of flat shoes or deadlifting shoes to feel really safe with these. I just don't recommend anybody trying to deadlift without flat shoes on. Some people might feel like heels are comfortable for them. They might be comfortable for you, but again, if you're not stable and you're not careful, you will fall back in these things just because of the way the heel angle is on these. These shoes are about an inch heel in the back, so they really have a pronounced heel. The bottom of the shoe is maybe a 1/4 inch thick, no padding, so they are for squats, and I use them for bench press too to help me keep my heels on the ground. So you see here I am really taking my time with these, making sure that I am getting a good grip. I'm still fighting the callus issue at this point, but it's not as bad as it was this last week that I had. Callus was not an issue, so back to normal. But again, like I said, just not feeling comfortable in these shoes, and that is a big thing for deadlift. You got to feel comfortable when you're lifting these heavy weights, especially on deadlift, because it is such an unnatural movement. For your body, it's just unnatural to feel like you're falling backwards, especially in heels. It's not something great. I do want to thank everybody coming in while these last reps go here. Please follow, like, and subscribe, guys. I do appreciate each and one of you. Looking forward to the meet and getting excited. I will have to go ahead and pick out my competition list at some point. Still kind of deciding on where I need to be with those. At least my competition starters, once I get in the competition, I'll be able to pick out the lifts as I go. But I do need to go ahead and pick out my openers as quickly as possible. That way I can concentrate on hitting those openers and hitting them well, and then move on from there, and then really stressing during the meet of moving with power and directive. If anybody has any questions, please comment down below. Again, I do appreciate each and every one of you for coming in. I love you guys. Have a great week. I will see you next week with my next video. Have a great week, guys. Bye.